Okay, hello again folks, I'm King Blacktooth, going to walk you through the location test mod for Cody today. So the first thing is he's got a rough delayed wake up implemented. I've actually retroactively implemented it to Gokun, Bison and Makoto at the minute. I'm going to do all the other characters very soon. So if I hold heavy punch, I'll stay on the ground for 19 frames longer at the moment. One thing you need to be aware of with Cody is that you are charging a zonk when you're holding heavy punch on the ground, so be aware of that. Okay, but you don't actually have to hold heavy punch for very long. It only checks the first 5 frames of the rising animation. Okay, so I'm going to tell you here. So I press it, let go, and it was fine. Okay, so that's pretty good. So it is still a bit rough because it can be done on soft knockdown, which it shouldn't be able to. And when I manage to differentiate between the two in the code, I'll go back and take it out of soft knockdowns. But for now, there's your delayed wake up. So the next thing is your red focus. So it uses medium punch, medium kick and heavy kick. You press them all together and you get something that looks like that. So he kicks up a lot of dirt and he gets a small twinkle in his eye for some reason. But the same rules apply. Level 1 does not crumple, maximum level does, and they're the only 2 levels you have. And it comes out slightly faster as well. It uses 2 meter bars and can absorb 12 hits that are non-armor breaking. If you FADC into it, it costs 4 meter bars and can absorb no hits, but it also crumples on level 1. There we go, like that. So pretty much an instant crumple. Probably ready for your ultra. So that's his red focus attack. So the first thing that Cody's changes have gotten, or whatever, is crouching medium kick is -2 on block from -6. So at close range on block, I did it at point blank, it's -2, so it can no longer be punished by a sure you can now, which is pretty good for you guys. And if you're using the latter frames of his crouching medium kick, then you're probably going to be maybe neutral or something like that, possibly. So pretty good move, pretty good buff, because I know you guys like to use that a lot, and -2 makes it relatively safe now. The next thing is forward heavy kick. That move is fully airborne now, so what that means is that if a character is doing this, as we know all Balrogs do, then if you get hit out, you only get hit out and knocked into the air rather than get full comboed, which is a hell of a good thing to do, especially since it whiffs a lot on crouching opponents. So that's really good now, I think. Even though it seems a bit weird that it's good that you get hit, but mean it's airborne means you're not really going to get punished with a maximum damage combo. The next thing is your knife throw, which I'm going to go show, even though I don't really need to, is now armor breaking. So let's get her doing that. And it's armor breaking. Bam. So one thing is, I don't think you're really going to be able to do it on reaction. Maybe, if she holds it all the way up, but she shouldn't really be doing it from that distance. So really, I think the only reason you're actually going to hit this is if someone tries to armor focus attack it as a projectile and they don't realise it's armor breaking now. I don't see it actually being used else. Okay, the next thing is your regular zonks are now FADCable on hit and on block. So that's pretty good, makes it safe on block. And also could open up some other sort of combos. The things I've tried to check don't seem to combo very well. So, or combo at all really, like that. But maybe you guys can find something. The next thing is he's got an improved backdash by -0.04 is what I did, -0.04 velocity. So hopefully it looks like that, and hopefully it's not too crazy of a change. I think that looks reasonable. So hopefully that will help you avoid some moves on Wake Up, because I know Cody's Wake Up is not very good. So the next thing is EX Criminal Upper. He's got invincible frames all the way up until 1 frame before active frame. So he's got a 1 frame gap before his active frame come out where it can be interrupted. So I did try doing it on Ryu's Solar Plexus because that's got pretty good active frames, and it can still punish it, but it's pretty difficult to do. But okay, so I'm not sure why that is. It's only strike invincibility, so projectiles still have their normal invincibility. So I think that's like 3 frames gap before active frames for projectiles. I'm not sure, but 1 frame gap before active frame comes out for strikes. The next thing is Ultra 2 now got forward momentum increase on the first couple of hits. So I'm lining her up with that line there, and it's about 2.5, you know, about here somewhere that it'll hit. Now at complete max range, I believe it still whiffs, but it's a hell of a lot better. 'Cause as you see, that was pretty much max range, and it hit pretty well. So I didn't want to make it any more. If you go really, really max range, then it might not hit like that, but it's a lot more consistent at least. Now if I find out that it's always supposed to hit if the dust hits, then I will make him fly across the screen like mad, because he pretty much does that already if you have a look. Half screen there, whoa. Okay, so at the minute it's a lot more consistent, so hopefully that's what that's used for. And it's also got a damage increase. So let's stick it on and hopefully it just shows you already. No, okay. So it's gone down from 506 to 466. Okay, so a little bit of a nerf by about 50 damage there. I think it's about 40 actually. So 466 now, but it's a lot more consistent. Nothing regarding hitting airborne opponents, because that was a big deal for you guys. And the last thing, oh actually this next thing is actually a bit vague. So his super now connects all hits. So I'm not sure how they were going to fix that. They could possibly do like a vacuum effect like Goken's EX Tatsu, but I've done several things. The first thing I'll go over first is his light kick variation. I haven't changed because I believe that only hits grounded opponents, and that never seems to miss anyway. So I'm not sure if there's any form of specific setups you guys are missing. And when I tested, the only ways that it would sort of miss is if they were jumping and I'd hit them at different sort of angles and stuff. So the first thing I changed is the first 2 hits of the medium kick variation now make them fall down faster, and it has a higher hitbox vertically. So that's the first 2 hits of the medium kick variation. So that hit and that hit makes them fall down faster. Okay, so to keep them sort of in range for the next attack. And the other reason it would miss was if I was really close, they'd fall behind me. So what I did, I made the first hit of the medium kick variation, push them further away so they always stay in front of me. Like so. Okay? So make sure they always stay in front of me. And the heavy kick variation also has sort of the same thing, but I made it so the heavy one, if it goes underneath, he turns round, basically. And I finished, oh, I missed there. So if he goes underneath, he'll turn around if he needs to, and continue the combo. And so that's pretty much it. Obviously, if you miss the first hit, then it's all up in the air whether you're going to continue it anyway. But I thought that was fine. So hopefully I've made that just generally a lot more consistent. But I don't know if that's how they're going to do it. And finally, the last thing now is his bad stones can now be released whenever you want. So you don't have to wait, and it will take the damage based on the nearest past damage one. So if you hold it near maximum, it will take on 70. If you hold it to maximum, it will take on 80. You know, so you can release it whenever you want, which I think is really good, because there's nothing worse than releasing it and then it not actually doing it for a couple of seconds. Well, it's a couple of seconds, that's a bit extreme. A couple of milliseconds. So anyway, that's all of Cody's changes. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Some quite good ones there, really. Generally just making him, I'd say, a bit more viable in small areas. Nothing major changed, but that's fine, because I think Cody can be pretty tough when played well. But yeah, so tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time. So when you want to install the mod, you download it from the link in the video description, and then you extract it, and you'll have these files. You'll have a folder named mod backup, which is just the originals in case something goes wrong. you'll have your character name.bac and character name.bcm, as well as a readme file with any changes or updates, and I will update that if I update anything at all, and the installation instructions in case you don't want to listen to me. So the first thing you do is find your Super Street Fighter 4 directory. Mine is in Program Files into Capcom, but if you bought it on Steam, it will probably be in your Steam directory somewhere. So you click on that, and now you've got patch_1_06 and patch 107. You need to find the one which has your most up-to-date character. So look in patch 107 first, into Battle, Regulation, and then find the most up-to-date one, which is V104, sorry. And my character is Cody, so he is in here. Most characters are not in here, only these couple are in patch 107. Most characters are in patch 106. So you double click on Cody, because that's what I'm doing at the minute. And all you'll have in here is Cody.bac or your character name.bcm. But I recommend making a mod backup folder and stick the originals in and rename them. You can just copy them from my file. And then you obviously also copy the .bac and .bcm files over and replace them. And then you're done. You can use this in versus mode, in training mode, and in arcade mode. And I've heard reports that someone used them online if both characters have it. But that's up to you. I never risked it personally. But that's about it. Pretty easy to do and pretty easily reversible. Hope you have fun with the mod. Thanks for watching.